All right, so welcome to Vinyl Talk, Season 3, Episode 4 here. Today we got our guest from the Netherlands at Just One More Record. As always, DM either me or my co-host to be featured in a future episode, and we'll get that squared away for you. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Everyday questions and just, engaging with the series after the fact on IGTV as well. All right, what's going on, man?
What's up? Hey, man. How you doing?
Doing
Awesome.
very well. Just going to get our co-host in here, and we'll be good to
Sure.
go.
Awesome. Let me fix my angle, actually.
All right, what's up, man?
What up, guys?
Yo, what's up? How you doing?
All right.
Good.
So
Cool.
fun to
What's
see
going
you
on?
guys for the first time live. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. All right, saying what's up to everyone in the chat. All right, cool. So I think we'll just get into like some introductory questions here, kind of about your vinyl journey. So, what made you want to start collecting?
Shit. Well, a good friend of mine, Flo is her name. She actually collected records, and it was just a really nice way for me to kind of sit down and listen to something. Right. I'm always like running, doing stuff. Right. And at her place, you can just sit down, listen to vinyl. And I was like, yeah, man, I want that at my own place as well. So, yeah, I started collecting vinyl at the local thrift store. And that's kind of how it started from going to from a fun hobby to something a little bit too serious
Yeah,
sometimes. So, yeah,
yeah,
that's how it
definitely.
started, man,
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
So, how many records would you say in total now, if you had to estimate, if you don't have an exact number?
Well, I think too many.
Too many?
That
Okay.
was my first initial Instagram tag. I wanted to do too many records, but I think that's already like a YouTube channel. But
Oh yeah.
no, yeah, I think about 250 to 350, something like that.
Okay.
Not too sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And
What about you guys?
how long have you been collecting?
I got my first record in 2017, I think, end 2017. And it was like just like it was actually I have it somewhere. It was like a soundtrack. I think it was Grease. I was like, oh shit, like that movie. It was just a cool movie, right? And I was like, oh, I want like the cover art, like in a
Hmm.
bigger way. And then didn't really collect for a while, and then I got a turntable for my birthday from my mom. Shout out to her. And then yeah, it just started going from there. This was actually my first like serious record that I got. This one.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome. Definitely
Wow.
firewood. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's how it kind of started, and got from yeah, and then I just started buying stuff. Yeah.
And you said you had 52?
Sorry, what?
You said you had 52?
How many? Me? No,
Yeah.
I got like 250 to 350, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like
Yeah,
this,
that's
like
good.
here, and then there's another wall over there. And like I live with two good friends of mine, and they got like a couple of stacks downstairs as well. So that's kind of how it
Okay,
is divided around the house. Yeah, for sure.
definitely. That's awesome.
Uh huh.
Cool. All right. So I think without further ado, hopefully you have a few records picked out, and we'll just go back and
Yeah, I
forth,
got
kind of
three in there. Yeah,
talking
right
about
next to me.
favorite songs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. So we'll
Awesome.
take your first pick at your leisure.
I think a lot of people that actually follow me will probably guess. I think Vanderbilt already. He texted me. It's like, yeah, you're probably gonna pick this record or from this artist, and
Mm.
it's University in China.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the cool part is it's signed by the Alchemist as well. So
Damn.
I have quite a large Alchemist collection, and it's pretty
Yeah.
hard to pick one. So I got wood
Yeah.
on this side. So I got Yacht Rock 2 there, and I got
Oh, yeah, sir.
Teddy here, all kinds of cool stuff. But if I had to pick one,
Damn.
probably had to be this one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, there's a lot more, but I got only the opportunity to pick three. So, but this is kind of I think my favorite project from him and from Bully James. Of course, it's super cool. It's I don't know, it just puts you in kind of a mindset. At least that's for me, right? I can only listen to it when it's dark outside. It's something else, I think. And
Yeah.
it's I was kind of late to the bandwagon, to be honest. I bought it via Discogs. I had to get this
Okay.
version as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
They were a great
Yeah.
one. But yeah, it's just so good. And yeah, what do you guys think about it? Actually, kind of curious. I don't know. You probably checked it already.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm a big fan. I think, at least I think both of us do. We have like the signed deluxe edition.
Deluxe.
Oh
Yep,
shit, that's nice as well. Yeah, the,
exactly.
the 10th version. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sick. Awesome.
So big
Yeah.
fans for sure. I was gonna say, did you meet the Alchemist or something? Because I saw on your page you have
Yeah,
Kalam
man. Yeah.
signed as well.
Yeah, so I live quite close to Amsterdam in the Netherlands,
Okay.
and so Alchemist, he's a big, well, he really loves Amsterdam, so he came there, well, I think a couple of years ago for the first time, and he just really loved the place, and you could legally smoke and that kind of stuff, and he smoked a lot, and he also digs a lot in a local record store in Amsterdam. He's a big fan. It's called Platypus Records. Actually, my slip mat is from there, and so he was doing a little European tour. And Tough Gun Records, you probably know Tough Gun Records as well. They had a 5-year anniversary, and they wanted to do like a little anniversary party, and it was kind of all chill with COVID and everything. So in October, he did like there was like an anniversary party. Alchemist was there. There was 150 tickets. There was 50 normal tickets and 100 tickets that recorded. Well, actually get a vinyl of the set that has been live recorded, which is really cool. So I can't wait for that to come in. And then after that, the day after, he did like a signing stuff meet and greet at that record store, and yeah, I got I got a whole bunch of stuff here that he signed for me. So yeah, I got to meet the guy. It's really cool. Maybe show a couple that you might know. So yeah, just
That is so cool.
But yeah, he's such a nice guy as well, which is the most cool part, right? So it was so chill, and just a really nice guy to meet and everything. Yeah, so that's kind of the story behind that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And then 2 questions here. One comes from the chat. Preston Max says, what is your favorite, The Price of Tea in China or Bo Jackson?
It has to be The Price of Tea in China. I like Bo Jackson as well, but just the way that kind of, in my opinion, The Price of Tea in China kind of flows from song to song. There's like a clear, like, well, not a storyline, but there's like it flows within each other. And with Bo Jackson, I was really hoping for that to happen as well, but it was just a little bit, it felt a little bit not random, but it wasn't this feels like a journey you go through, right? You put it on and you have to sit through the whole thing. I had the same thing with Blast. I don't know if you know what that is, but he also dropped I forgot the title, the name of the album, but there are just a couple of projects that you just put it on and you listen to the end. And I had that with this project, and I think that's such an important thing for when you listen to an album, right? You go through it and you're like, oh, it's done, right? You just listen to the whole project, and that's, I think, what sets this album apart for me compared to Bo Jackson. But I like that project as well. The song with Benny the Butcher is crazy. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. For sure. And then for both of you guys, we can open it up to, I guess, people in the chat as well. What are your favorite tracks of The Price of Tea in China and Bo Jackson?
You go first.
So personally, you go ahead.
You go ahead, Tim.
All right, so my fault, I was ready to go. So for Price of Tea in China, it'd probably be Grey October with Evidence.
For sure.
Bo Jackson is hard. Photographic Memories is insane, so I'll probably say that one off Bo Jackson.
Nice.
I'm going to go with what Guy said in the chat for The Price of Tea in China, which is Scraping the Bowl. For Bo Jackson, I can't think of the name of the song, but the one that has Freddie Gibbs on it.
Yeah, for sure. That's the same with me. That song for the moment.
Is it Fake Flowers?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, for me, it's really hard because, like I said, I just listened to this project like in one go, right? So there's really a song that really, well, I think Carrot is crazy. Like that intro is just it just sets a tone for the whole project. But I think my favorite part of the album is it's more of a transition. It's the run-ins, and then it goes into Script the Bowl, and it's kind of when they jump, they throw something in the water, and then the beat starts. That's crazy to me. So I think that's Script the Bowl probably. The beat is insane. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, another thing I would say though is when you get the album on record, I think it actually makes you like the album better. I know just hearing it on my turntable sounds a lot better. Yeah. So I guess I have to wait until Bo Jackson comes in, and then
I actually missed it. So if you guys have a spare, I actually missed that drop. It was terrible. Like a good friend of mine, the Wax Wizard, you probably follow him as well. Maybe he's watching, I don't know. But we're like, oh, we need to cop this, and then we're like, I don't know, something was up, and then we're both like, oh, damn, we just missed the drop. So I'm looking out for that one when it drops. Yeah, for sure.
I think somebody in the chat has an extra one.
Oh, nice.
I think don't quote me.
For sure.
Put this right. All right, awesome.
Cool.
Curious about your picks, guys.
So I think Quan will get into your first pick when you're ready.
For my first pick, I pick Mirrorland by Earth Gang. That'll represent for Atlanta. But it's actually one of my favorite projects from Dreamville. Obviously not by J. Cole. I can't say much about it, I guess. In a way, I know it's Sting's like all-time favorite album, but I really like Top Down. I also like Proud of You. I think Young Thug went really good on that song. I don't know if you guys know about it.
Yeah.
I really like the cover of it. I think it's one of the
sick.
most pleasing just to look at. Kind of like how it's like a painting.
Definitely.
But yeah, what do you guys think about the project?
Well,
I
for
enjoy
me,
it.
I do like. I'm not really too big. Like, I have some J Cole records here, and I have actually the I had the Strays of Rabies one on pre-order, but it didn't went through. There was like a shortage here in the Netherlands. It was super stupid. But I didn't really check the project myself. I know there's the Young Thug song. I'm quite a big fan of him as well. But so I think that if I have this, if the project is more like that, then it's probably fire. But yeah, it's not really my my taste. But I'll give it a listen for sure after this.
Definitely.
I enjoy it as well. I think like Swivel was one of the high points, personally for me, that I would come back to. But I'm excited. Like they got to be dropping soon, right? Because that's 2019, and I'm sure that like they're due for an album drop within this year, hopefully.
And they're on this as well, right? So this is also like this is right. That's
yes.
Yeah.
Spillage
It's like a
Rose,
group or something, right? The Spillage Village.
exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like them and JID and a few others.
Yeah.
I need to get more records. They're calling. It's terrible.
Yeah. The thing about Earth Gang, I think they put out a song this month, or like within the past month. It's called American Horror Story. Check that out. It's pretty solid, so I would definitely recommend that for anyone.
Yeah,
that
their
hasn't
flow, their flow is crazy. I think they're like their way they're lyrical. I think it's super refreshing as well. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
And they're also really good performers. Me and my girl seen them twice. We saw them. They performed at the off-season tour, and then we saw them actually at Rolling Loud too. And somebody said they're dropping this month. Ghetto Gods, I think is what it's called.
Damn.
Hey, I'm not flexing, by the way. What's up?
January 28th, so I guess I'll look for that.
Oh, it's sick. Nice.
Definitely.
Curious.
So, cool. All right, so I think I'll get into my first pick here. Shout out to Dro for securing this for me. This is Care For Me by Saba. For those unaware, this guy's actually dropping soon. He's dropping February 4th. His next album, which is definitely due, because this just came out in 2018. I mean, what can I say about this project? Pretty like emotional project, I would say at times, and he does a good job of like blending styles. Definitely 10 out of 10 recommend for those that haven't heard, although I'm sure most of us have.
For sure.
My favorite track off this would probably be Calligraphy, or I like the storytelling on Prom King. I think those are pretty solid. So yeah, definitely Care For Me.
It was such a pain for me to get as well. Like, I'm adjusting this record, which it's such a good project. Actually, I think that's my most listened to project from last year. Like I was also quite late. I was quite late on this as well. But so I actually had the chance to see him live at a performance at Lowlands, like a big festival. But I missed it because the area was full, and I was like, oh, sounds like a cool guy. And then I checked him out kind of last year for the first time, and super happy with the repress as well. Did you get that for the repress or sick?
Yeah, that was a repress. I think Dro had 2 copies because he got one because of VMP or whatever. I'm not subscribed to that, so yeah, I got it kind of secondhand from him. But
yeah, I think a lot of people took a L off this personal site drop.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And then I think most people got it from Vinyl Me Please, because Vinyl Me Please had it, and then like they restocked like I think twice after they did that too. I got mine from Vinyl Me Please, but
same here. Yeah,
I was sleeping, and then like he had like let like 200 people in like 2 hours before he ever was gonna drop it and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's such a good project, man. And if I can say something about this as well, I think it's really important. Like this release is so good. Like just like the Red Winkle, it's the plug for like you probably order from there as well. It's the Dutch kind of hip hop guy. Like the same with this project. Like they put it on like a tip-on jacket. Like I listen to a lot of jazz as well, and like they're like high quality reissues or issues of the album as well. And it's so cool that for this kind of album, like it's most of our releases are like super thin paper, like sleeves and covers and that kind of stuff. And it was just super high quality, like a tip-on jacket, glossy and everything. It was so cool. I was really happy with that. I think more releases should be like this. I don't know. What's your opinion on it?
100%. I would have to
Yeah,
agree. The quality's great.
I think it was the ones from his site. I could be wrong, but I think they were all made from Vinyl Me Please. I think
Yeah,
that's
correct. Yeah.
I think
But you
that's
just had
where
the
the
stamp here. That was different, right? You didn't have the stamp if you got it from.
yeah, it didn't have the stamp, but it was still pressed by Vinyl Me Please. Which all they do is sell records, so obviously they're gonna make sure they come good. But
Yeah,
yeah, I saw
definitely.
Vinyl Boy saying that he almost bought the boot because I think what was it, Roland Rex
Yeah,
had the
Rolling Rocks.
boot,
Yeah,
and Saba had just said like, "Don't pay for the boot, I
yeah,
got something
Yeah, he
coming
said
the
it on
next
yeah.
Twitter. It
week."
was so funny. He was like, "Yeah, bootlegs this and that," and then yeah. But it's really cool from him as well. Like on his Twitter, he also said some stuff about, "Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that everybody that wants it gets a copy." I think especially within these days, like some of my records here, I paid resale for, right, because I just really like it so much, and I think it's
Hmm.
really cool from an artist perspective, right, to just be like, okay, I'm making sure I'm pressing. I'd rather have too many copies, right, and it's in the record bins than just that
Not
people.
have
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. What's
Definitely.
your
I think
favorite
there was.
song of it?
I had to go with Calligraphy too, just like Temple. But I think there was even a black pressing of that, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, on his shop,
on
right?
his site, yeah, they had posted like a
Really?
black pressing too.
Yeah,
But Calligraphy, I have to say for me.
yeah, that's a
Um,
beautiful song. But so you guys are like, what do you guys think about Prom King? Like, I think it's it's like I don't know, it's just the story on that song, like it's amazing. I think for me, Prom King or uh, yeah, I like Calligraphy as well. Calligraphy is good, but like Gray or Prom King, I think for me, I like that
Yeah,
the message he put in, like because he's like not signed, right? He's like independent.
I think so.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
really,
really cool about like the kind of he's talking about like the best songs.
hmm
Uh,
yeah. Oh, on Gray. Yeah,
yeah, like the best songs don't really get picked or they don't really get
exactly.
hits. I think
Yeah,
that's
best
why.
songs on
Okay,
the B
great.
side. Yeah,
on the
Yeah,
B
sick.
side.
yeah, definitely.
Good pick.
Yeah,
For
I think
sure.
the first time I heard about the album was when I don't know if you guys did it, but Aaron was putting in a video of everybody showing their personal favorite record in the collection, and then yet another vinyl page showed it. And I didn't I think I heard of Saba, but I've never seen like the album and everything. I thought the artwork was real cool, and I
Mhm.
listened to it, and every time I listen to it, I just see myself like putting myself more in his shoes. Like what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
listen to it, you can actually feel
Yeah,
like like you're part of him listening to the story as you listen to the album.
For sure.
Um,
exactly.
100%.
even
Yeah.
more when I got the record personally and spun it. But yeah, every time it's like one of those albums to me that always get better every time I listen to it, and then you just find something more, or you know what I mean.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have the same thing with
Oh,
this album as
100%.
well. Like what I said with the Pressity in China, you can just press play and just it just goes, right? I think that's yeah, I think this is also a great example of like such a an album. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. So we do have a question in the chat here
All right, let's go.
from the Wax Wizard. What are your grails that you do not own? So I'll let you take that
Well.
first. To our guest.
Well, this is really fun. I know why he's asking this because I was like on the hunt for Song of Sage Post Panic, and
Mm.
he has like the haze colored version, and I
Ah,
wanted that
yeah,
so bad,
yeah.
but I actually got it yesterday thanks to my
Oh,
girlfriend. She
sick.
actually got it for me. So yeah,
That's
that's a
awesome.
really nice present. So yeah, but I think right now a girl for me, and it's probably not. I don't know if you guys Bill Evans.
I
It's a
don't.
Heard the
jazz
name.
pianist. All right, it's a really
Yeah.
like an acoustic sounds. It's a reissuing label. They actually made a box set of all his Riverside recordings. So that's like one
Mm.
of the labels he used to be on. They're all like well reissues and super high quality. And that box set is like it's 12 records. It's amazing. There were like 1,500 copies, and there's like I think it's like 1.6K at the moment. So it's super expensive. But that if I have that, I'll just put it here on this
Mm-hmm.
little thing, and I can just look at it for the rest of my life. It's a beautiful thing that I'll probably never own. So that's on my like highest grill list for sure.
Definitely. For sure.
I guess I'll take it next. I feel like I say the same thing every time, which probably be like a official present of Reasonable Doubt. But I'll say another two things. I would say 1988 by Knowledge. I don't know. This week I've been, or even the last past couple weeks, I've been in a real like Stone Throw Records vibe. Just donuts. I think you guys noticed I posted Knowledge and Jay Dilla.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I would say that the purple variant. Me and my girlfriend actually saw it when we went on a vacation last year, sometime in Florida. I saw the purple variant, but Actually got HUD Dreams instead. And now I see like the purple variant. It was like $20, and now it's going for like 70 minimum everywhere. So
Really?
kind of
really?
getting myself. That's what I've seen, at least on Discog. I haven't looked deep
Damn.
into it. And then another one I would say is the original cover of Donuts, of Jay Dilla,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
record.
Stock over, yeah.
But I want
Oh, the
the
donut
one.
one, yeah.
I want the purple one. You know what I mean? That kind of looks like a donut.
Yeah,
That
Oh yeah, the jelly.
was
Yeah.
it was
The
made
jelly
this
off the
year.
box set, yeah, that was sick. Yeah.
So I'll say those two. Out of the normal, just because of the vibe I've been
Definitely.
to a lot
Yeah,
of
I might have to
cinemas.
check my local record store. I think I saw like the purple variant, like now everything is locked down again, but like before I think start of December, I think I saw another purple one, so I might have to hook you up with one. So
All right. And I'll say that the last one I'll say is volume 1 and 2 of Knowledge, Meek Mill. So I have
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I got
Yeah.
that here. That's really cool.
I got 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, but I don't have 1 and 2. So
Bummer.
finish out that. So that's what I'll say. For
Yeah.
me.
I have to make a big box for you, I think, because I have that. Then I can send you all these. No, I don't.
I know shipping be crazy.
Yeah. Nice. Sick.
Definitely. That's awesome. Probably for me, I mean, we do always talk about Reasonable Doubt, original press, but second to that, something I've been looking for and I just can't find. Blueprint 2. I know that album was kind of like a flop, kind of low key, but like, there's still some solid tracks, but like, it's a 4 LP double album, so
Really?
like you can't find it all intact, and the only press is from 2002. So if you find a copy that happens to have all 4 discs, they're usually not like in good quality, and if they are, it's very expensive. So
I
Blueprint
have
2
this
is
one. I
probably
bought it in
my
the record store. This one, right? But it only has 2 LPs.
that's Blueprint 1.
Oh, shit.
Blueprint
Okay.
2 came out in 2002. It's a little different.
Yeah. I say that too. Kingdom Come too comes to my mind of those two. I feel like a lot of people either like Blueprint 2 or Kingdom Come. They don't like them both. Because I'm more of a Kingdom Come guy. I don't really care for Blueprint 2, but I do want to finish the, whole Jay-Z.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to knock out the whole collection at this point. But yeah.
Quite a discography.
Exactly. So we got a few more questions in the chat here. So here we go. Let's do this one. All right. So he asks, "What's the most expensive vinyl that we own?" I'll let you take that one first. Our guess.
Yeah, I think. Well, I have one, and that's kind of in my 3 record list. So I'm not gonna pick that. But I have one that's quite expensive here. I think it's like my second most one. I didn't know that at all. It was a present from a friend of mine, Matthew, and he gave me the Adventure Time box set.
Okay, that's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't really listen to it too much because it's like a 4 LP set. But yeah, it's like I think the last one sold for like $550, $700. Yeah, it was a really nice present to get.
Definitely, that is a nice present.
Yeah, it's a nice present. Yeah.
I'll go say mine. Mine's probably Forest Hills Drive Live.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, so jealous.
I think we all know about that one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I was lucky. I had a magazine that I won. I think you guys probably know about the story from the chat. When he was on the Slam Cover magazine, and they were doing an issue where they sent 24 of them, 1 through 24, and I was lucky to get one. I just bought the standard, $8 one. So I sold the magazine, and then I had the money set aside for it. So I eventually got it, but I was lucky to get it from a guy who was selling it on Reddit. I messaged him up probably like 6 months ago, or probably a year ago now. And then he was like, "No, I'm not really looking to sell it. I'm just looking to trade for it." He's like looking for blonde. I'm like, I'll be better at finding Forest Hill Drive Live before I could get blonde and then just trade it for him or whatever. But I guess he gave in, and then like 6 months after that, he was like, "You know what? I'll just sell it to you." And he sold it to me for a good price. So I can't complain because he said he had a bunch of offers, but he figured I was a big Cole fan because I was pressing him for it. I was like, whether you trade it or not, you're going to get the same amount of money or whatever. So real nice dude. I still talk to him to this day. He's a huge Knowledge fan too, so we were chatting about me posting Knowledge and everything. And he was big on getting the box set of the 1988. But that's what I'll say. Forest Hill Drive Live for me, I would say.
That's crazy. Shout out to Reddit as well for getting records. Like everybody's on discounts, of course, but like on Reddit, like feel like you can get way better kind of deals, and also like rarer stuff, right? Yeah, crazy.
Definitely.
A lot of people don't want to pay that fee. Imagine it's on
Yeah,
that record
yeah. That would
on
be
Discog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
Discog's gonna be taking home a good check of that.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, probably for me, something that I didn't know was expensive or rare really at this point is the Watch the Throne official
Yeah,
press. I have the
well,
picture
it's
disc.
crazy as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
expensive.
When I got it, it was about like I think I actually did pay like $100 for it off Amazon, like
Mm.
maybe July 2020, and now here we are. Like prices are several hundreds, I guess
Insane.
and beyond. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that will get restocked, hopefully, and then like go back down. You know, some stuff goes up crazy until it
Yeah,
gets
but
restocked.
yeah, we have it as well, like basic records, right? Like
Mhm.
like some ASAP Rocky records or
Yeah,
SZA, or like they get like expensive as well. If you check Discogs right now, they're like 80, $90. Like
exactly.
I got it in a
That's
record store
unreal.
for like 20. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
first started collecting, I saw Watch the Throne at like a local record store, but
Yeah,
it
same.
was like 120, like maybe even more, like
Mhm.
150 retail. So I was like, "There's no way I'm paying that much for one record." And now I'm like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
selling for 800.
Yeah. It's
Awesome.
crazy. All right, so last question here before we get back to our records from Vinyl Boy. What's your favorite record store? I guess, um, kind of, I guess, shout out a local one near you guys.
I'll
Uh,
say one.
let's say
I
what
guess
you go first. I gotta grab
I
something.
got two. There's a record store in my town. It's called Wilk Street. But
Mm,
I would say online, I would say Get On Down. It's
mm,
probably where I buy a lot of my stuff. Get On Down is online, or even like Urban Legends, which is like a sister
mm,
store of Urban Outfitters, but they sell mostly
yeah,
hip hop. Is what I would say for me.
Sick. Nice. Yeah,
definitely.
for me, I gotta give a big shout out to these guys. I also saw Lex Wizard putting it Platypus. So those are the guys that actually hooked it up with the Alchemist and everything. So a record store in
Mm,
Amsterdam. It's really cool. They have like a lot of, they're like two dudes. And they run a record store in the middle of it's in the middle of kind of Chinatown, and it's kind of where the Para and Pata, the Pata stores there, and like all kinds of cool stuff. And yeah, they took over a record store. It's really cool. You can find a documentary on it over them as well on YouTube. They're like two super chill guys that just love music, make music, and yeah, Action Bronson went there, The Alchemist went there, Crime Apple went there, Derringer as well. So it's really cool. It's a really cool kind of niche kind of record store. But I have to give a big shout out to Plato. So it's kind of Plato, Plato. I don't know what the.
mm,
It's a franchise record store in Leiden. That's where I live. But this location was the first one, and they just like I would say like more than half of my collection is from there. Like I love buying there, especially secondhand as well. They for jazz and rock and that kind of stuff. They just pull through with like super cool stuff, and they occasionally have some rare stuff as well. They had 2 copies of Endless original pressings in stock in 2017 for $29. So those kind of super random rare stuff. Yeah, I didn't get it then, but one of the guys there told me. Yeah, but shout out to them. It's a really cool record store, and I would advise to shop locally, especially during this time, of course. So yeah, for sure.
definitely. For me, at least online anyway, favorite is probably Get On Down or Nature Sounds. One of those are pretty good. In person, I actually don't stay anywhere near Pittsburgh, but there's a store in there called The Attic. Stinger knows uh, that it's a great store and like a great selection. Like I remember finding like Dirty Sprite 2 in there for like $40. Like maybe a year ago at this time. And it's just crazy. Like they got good deals and fair pricing. So shout out
Do
to
you
them.
have Dirty Sprite too?
I actually sold it,
I'm
but
like, I
to
didn't
get
see you
something else.
posted.
But they had it though. So, but
Sick.
yeah, I got it
Yeah.
for them.
Local record stores, especially like they're not big in the hip hop, they don't know what they have. Because I had Gunna's album, I can't think of the name of it right now,
Was it-
too, and they had it
Oh
like in
yeah,
random soul for like 25
really?
bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
They
picked it
were-
up. I picked it up for $5. $5. I got Drip or John.
Nice.
I went
Yeah, that's what it is.
to the
Dripper John
States.
too. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Drip or John too. I went to the States actually,
Mhm.
and I went there and I was like, yeah, I just browsed the shelves, and Ghana's kind of. I don't think he's an amazing artist, but like it's fun music, right? So, and I saw it there, and it was discounted. It was $5, and there were like 3, so I got all 3. And yeah, I
Mhm.
gave one
Oh
away. I
damn.
traded one for something, and now I have one still left here. But it's crazy what the prices on that one is as well. It's like $200 or something, or 170. insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think it's
Is that the cover where he's underwater with the umbrella?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was an Urban Outfitter, not like exclusive, but like only released to Urban Outfitter, and they only made 500 copies or something.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's what the
2000 or
problem
something.
was.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
all.
one. Yeah, I was looking through my like I'm typically only looking like the new releases and like what's on sale and like hip hop, and then I was like, you know what, let me just look over here. And it was like Rare Record Soul. I was like, this ain't Soul. This is gotta. I was like, yeah, I had to get it. I didn't even know it was going like at that time. It was probably still only going for like $100, but it was still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's insane.
But
Yeah,
I was looking up online, and a lot of them were on sale. Is what they were saying because they weren't selling. So they were like $5, $1. People were saying they got them for, and now they go for 200. But I think somebody was saying, well, you know, him just dropping his new album is that he's looking into repressing all his stuff. Even like Wanna. The
Oh,
deluxe
really?
and everything.
Yeah.
That's highly due. That's
So
highly.
fans will want it because I know Wanna
Yeah.
goes for like 500,
Yeah.
600.
The deluxe. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. Cool. All right, so I think we'll have our guests get into your next pick here.
Yeah, so I actually picked something that probably most of you guys don't listen to. So I'm gonna actually do two. So one hip hop one and one the one I really want to pick. If that's okay. So hip hop one, I kind of wanted to do. I think this one. So we could talk a little bit about Coloring Book 3. Love the project. But the actual record that I picked, and it's really important to me, I think that's kind of cool because vinyl-wise, this is kind of one of the main reasons why I'm into vinyl, and it's Chet Baker Sings.
That's classic.
Birth version.
Okay.
So this is a jazz album. I don't know if are you guys familiar with this one?
I have that album.
Awesome.
Well,
Well,
no, that's familiar.
it's his first vocal album, so I'm quite big into jazz. I'm not really active on this page, but cool jazz and vocal jazz, so 50s, 60s, that kind of stuff. And this is a very, very important trumpetist, and he actually recorded an album where he was singing. And this is just such an important album for vocal jazz history, and it's on like kind of also on the tip on one, like I talk about with Saba, and it's like a super good gatefold, and it's so cool to see kind of these releases get like this kind of deluxe treatment. And the most important thing about this, it's sourced all analog. So what it means, it's there's no digital stuff, especially with older albums. Like now everything is recorded digitally, but back in the day, everything was recorded analog. And I'm not a hi-fi guy at all, but I can really appreciate good sound. And every time, like I always say, if I have to pick one album, my whole collection is gonna be this one, because this is kind of why you listen to vinyl. You put it on, and it's like he's in the room. I can't describe how this sounds, but this pressing sounds like out of this world. Like every time I put it up, it's like you're there. Like, and that's why I picked this. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you guys are allowed to jazz or everybody's watching, but just pick this up if you can find it. I know it's also super expensive right now because it's out of print. This version at least. But yeah, I just have to give like a super big shout out to this album. And the other one, the other kind of more appropriate one for this is Coloring Book. I picked it up last year. I picked it up resale just before it got repressed, the day before. So that's kind of a bummer. But it's such a cool project, and you probably are familiar with it. I think this is Chance's best work, in my opinion. I know it's kind of a hot topic compared, of course, to Acid Rap. That's actually at Wexler's place, my copy, because we kind of ship stuff. I ship stuff from the States to him, and he ships European stuff to me. So that should also be here. But yeah, this project is my second pick. I'm curious what you guys think about it.
What got me into Chance the Rapper was Acid Rap, so I think that's like maybe why I think that's his best work in my opinion. But I do think they're really close. Let's say we put it like on a level of like I wouldn't say Acid Rap is really a 10 out of 10, but we'll put Acid Rap on a 10, and I'd put Coloring Book like an 8.5. But Coloring Book came out when I was in high school, and it was a real big part of like a lot of music. Like the album that I think back in high school is Coloring Book. Just from the features and everything, it was just a good time, a good album. Yeah, a good time in my life. So I look back at Coloring Book a lot. But also look at like Jews. I think that was the best Chance. I think he was downfalling on Coloring Book, but he was still doing good in Coloring Book. You just knew that he was like kind of coming out of his, in a way, prime, or we could say his single life. A lot of us know once he got married.
Just talk about his wife, sing about his wife, rap about his wife.
Yeah. Once he got married, his music has just been bad. But yeah. I put him really close, but I put Acid Rap above it, in my opinion.
What's your favorite
Yeah.
song of the project?
I really like Blessings. Both of them are really good. Just one of those tracks. The track with Damn on it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that track. Kind of in a brain fart. I can't think of like the track names
I
right
guess you
now,
need
but
seconds. There you go.
Sing special. All we got. No problems. No problems
No,
is good. I'm trying
no
to think of
problem was
songs
huge.
like Socks on Concrete, Jolly Rancher Kids. I can't think of the songs,
Yeah.
but that's one of the ones I went back to a lot.
Oh, Summer Friend.
Yeah,
No.
just a good
Yeah,
vibe. It was always like a good vibe album, and it came out in like a good time in life. I guess a lot of people like high school
exactly.
and stuff. So
Yeah, shout out to 2016, man. That's the greatest year of music at me, though. Like 2016, that's like every fire project ever recorded. Well, not ever, but like it's
a
if you
lot.
look, if you just Google albums 2016, and you just scroll through, it's like can't believe it. Like it's amazing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Sick.
definitely.
I think that get me into my second pick. I know somebody asked earlier if we have any Beatle albums. I don't personally have any Beatle albums, but this is the closest thing I have. This is the record I was selling, which is the Gray album. I don't know if you guys know about the Gray album, which is the Black
A little
album,
bit.
the acapella of the Black album by Jay-Z, and
Oh
then
wow,
the instrumental of the White album by the Beatles mixed together by Danger Mouse.
sick.
And I don't despise boots, but I try not to buy boots. But this is one of the boots that I definitely wanted. Obviously, we're talking about finishing our J collection. It's a great album. It's basically just a Black album with the White album instrumental. Basically, what it is, mixed by Danger Mouse. But I really like it a lot. It doesn't sound too bad for a boot, but you can tell it's a boot.
Mhm.
But I like it. Jay-Z's second favorite rapper all time, so hard to go match. I don't listen to much of the Beatles, so I can't really like tell
You
you the
should, man.
correlation
You
of
should.
what Beatles song it is. I just know it's the White album. White and
Yeah.
black make gray, so that's why they came up with the Gray album. But I know I always say this in the chat, Outcast over the Beatles.
Oh man, no way. Come on. No, you can't deny. Yo, okay, Outcast, shout out to Outcast too, but like, actually, so I used to listen to Beatles a little bit casually, but I started really like listening like 2 years ago. Like, I've like, I don't know if you can see, but like this part of my collection is Beatles right now.
Mhm.
Like, it's quite big, and it's like it's such an important band and it did so much for music. So, but shout out to Beatles, man. We should all have like a Beatles day in our community. Yeah,
Yeah,
sick.
that's funny. The thing about albums like that where you know the lyrics but not necessarily the beats, it's so weird to me because the first time I listened to that, like I know the lyrics to the Black album, but I didn't recognize the beat. So I'm like sitting here like rapping these lyrics that the beat doesn't match. It was the weirdest experience, but it's definitely very cool.
Yeah, it was a good feel. Listen to it. Like just the beats weren't bad, but it wasn't like a hip hop feel. But then you have Jay-Z rapping there. But he does that stuff because he has the album with Linkin Park too.
Yeah.
So I think
Mhm.
I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
Part of me wanted to get the White album so I can kind of listen to the White album and know it. But
Yeah.
I looked at the White album and I'm like,
Yo,
prices that I see it going for.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
everybody's
I'm not.
collection, guys. At least the White Album or Sgt. Pepper or Abbey Road or Let It Be. At least one of them.
Yeah.
One of them.
I hear you. Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Cool.
Cool
All right.
pick.
So for my next pick, I have Savage Mode 2. Metro Boomin, 21 Savage. I actually just listened to this before we came on here, and it kind of reaffirmed for me like how solid this is. I remember when this came out, it was like fall 2020, and I was like just getting into like the underground scene, so like trap was not my lane. And I remember like shitting on this album when it came out and being like, nah, this ain't it, man. Like we need that Griselda, like this, that, and the third. And then I come back in like the winter time, like March of this past year. I'm like, I was fucking tripping. This album is great. Metro's beats are crazy. The Morgan Freeman narration, like super solid overall. Definitely excited to see what he's got going on in the future because 21 just keeps getting better. Favorite track off this is probably Running or Brand New Draco. But yeah, Savage Mode 2. What about you? How do you guys feel about this project?
You want to go first? We can go first.
Sure, yeah, I'll go first. So my roommate Clark is like we split a lot of records too, so we just we do 50-50 on them, and this is one of the records we split it on. So it's downstairs, and like it's one of like he listens to it so many times. It's like you can't imagine how many times he puts that album. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's I think this album it's not my to be honest. I both like 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, but I like to me I kind of like the first one, like the first installment of the album is like that's like an instant classic to me, and I like the Not Very Good All Heroes Barricades as well. So Metro wise, I think there are better projects, but it's so fun. Like it's such a fun project. Like Snitches and Rats, that song is amazing. Like it's just like it's such a fun project to listen to. So yeah, I have it here. My roommates listens more to it than me, but I can really appreciate it as well. It's really fun. Like Morgan Freeman's on there as well, right? Like he does the intro. Or, yeah.
He does it. Yeah.
Like, what's between a rat and a snitch every day. Takashi. But yeah, I would piggyback off that. I think a lot of times, at least in the chat, I get crucified for saying Savage 1 mode, you know, the first one is better than 2. Everybody's like, no, 2's way better.
No, 1 is better, for sure.
That's what I say too. But I think now that I've sit on it and 2 has grown on me a lot too, I think Running used to be my favorite song, but like Glock in My Lap has grown on me a lot recently. I think I picked Savage 1 mode 2 just of like the nostalgia purpose of it, because like that was like nowhere, you know, when that came out, nobody was doing what 21 was doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
X's and everything. And I think Savage Mode 2 might be like a better album, but I just personally like Savage Mode 1 better.
Yeah, same.
In my opinion. I guess that could be another one. Everybody says, what do you want in your collection? I guess I think like Only Vinyl Me Please press that, right?
Yeah, I think there's a normal pressing of that as well from the first one, but it's like also super expensive. It's insane.
Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, this is kind of a fun thing. So my most wanted, like, if there's a record, I'm kind of curious about your guys as well. So if there's one record that I want pressed on vinyl, it's Without Warning. I think that's hands down my fave kind of trap, kind of hip hop kind of album. Like I think that's such a solid project. So I want that on vinyl so bad. I think someone did like a bootleg, like a homemade bootleg. I don't know. Someone from the community did that, and I was like, whoa! But yeah, sick. What about you guys? Which record would you like pressed officially?
I'll say 2, Born Sinner and 444.
Okay, yeah, 444 too. Yeah, that would be crazy. Such a good album. Sick.
Definitely. I think Born Sinner's got to be up there for me as well, and I'd like an Official Graduation.
Yeah, for sure.
Kanye, but
I do.
There's a lot of records. Cool. All right, so I have a question here. Most wanted record that you haven't gotten yet. So something that I don't know how we could take this differently than what we already answered.
Still, I think most like something you really want is kind of within your reach, right? The girls like.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So if I can start, so why I picked this album, so the Chance the Rapper one, is because No Name is on there. So she used to be called No Name Gypsy. Now her name is No Name. Do you guys know her?
No Name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So her album, Telephone, it's actually on my bio on Instagram for like almost a year right now. So there's a pressing of that album, and it just that's such a good album to me. Kind of also it's so different and lyrically interesting, I'd say. So that's kind of not. It's like I think it's still quite expensive, but like I think I'll cop it within now in a couple of months probably. So that's kind of my most wanted at the moment, which is kind of not like a 1.6K box set that I'm never gonna get.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I guess one I will say, I won't say most wanted, but I think one that's about to get repressed is coming out soon, which is Preacher's Son. That we've talked about before, and I know Temple sent the link in the chat. And actually, from a previous Vinyl Talk where it was showed, I've never listened to it. And then Temple sent it in there, and him and Guy were talking about it. I'm like, man, let me finally listen to this. And I listened to it at work, and it was actually really good. I was a little salty. You know, he used Adolescence 03, but I let him pass. He was going in. I like the project a lot, and I'm a sucker for pink vinyl. So we'll see if that does get pressed.
Definitely. For me, something that's reasonable that I'm trying to lock in on is like Navy Blues discography. What's been pressed? We talked about Song of Sage, Post Panic. I want to get that, and I'm gonna mispronounce this, but Odd Erin, the other album that he has. So definitely I want to get both of those. I've been listening to him
I've
quite a
been
bit
listening to
recently.
him nonstop as well. He's such a he produced most of the albums as well, right? So, or he's working on production or something.
He's a crazy producer. I didn't know this, but I actually went on his Wikipedia today to like see what he's produced in the past, and it's like the tracks, like if you know "Hunger" by Mike or like "Azúcar" by Earl, like a bunch of songs that like you recognize that he produces. Unreal, like he's a
Yeah.
great producer.
Yeah, he's coming to the Netherlands as well. Mike as well. Both are coming, I think, in March or June or something. So I got tickets for a
Mm,
show, hoping to get like the post panic signed. That would be crazy. But yeah,
mm,
it's gonna be fun. Yeah, sick. Shout out to Nate.
definitely. Yeah, shout out Navy Blue. Cool. All right. Another question here. From Beats. Who who are you looking forward to dropping in 2022?
This guy
So
and this guy, same guy. It's
yeah,
Frank Ocean. So
yeah,
I know it's never gonna happen, but that would be that would be crazy. And I think with people actually have like a an announcement date for it. Oh, I think I have a blank, but I think like everything Alchemist, I'm just super hyped for, right? So
hmm
you just know he's gonna drop a couple of projects like
yeah,
2018, 19, 20, 21 have just been insane, and like everything he makes, well, not everything, but like most of the stuff he makes is like super fun. And kind of with a closer release date, I'm really looking forward to Sick from Earl Sweatshirt. I think that's gonna
yep,
be a stupid crazy tape. So yeah, I'm really hyped for
yeah.
it.
I'm excited as well. I think more recent or like in the close future, Corday is dropping. I think this coming Friday.
Oh wow, really?
His second album, yeah, from a Bird's Eye View,
Oh
is
cool.
coming out. He's been teasing that for a while.
Mm,
Um, Also, Tana Talk 4. There's a lot of talk about that. I'm
for
seeing
sure.
Benny post
For
about it. I'm
sure.
seeing
Yeah.
Alchemist post about it. So
Yeah.
that should be hopefully this year as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Does any of you
Yeah.
have like any Grisella, any dope issues?
I have a few.
I
I
don't
got
have
Pray for
any.
Paris.
I got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I Pray for Paris. I have Versace tape, which is Boldy's technically, I guess. But yeah,
Sick.
I have those.
Nice.
I guess I'll say I'm looking forward to dropping this year. We'll say Pusha T because I guess he didn't drop last year when he said he was going to
Yeah.
drop. Another one I'll say is Freddie Gibbs because he's saying this is going to be his best year in rap. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's trolling or being serious. So I assume if you say your best year in rap, you're going to drop an album that follows up with Alfredo and Pinata. And then optimistic, I'll say Jay-Z. I can always look for another Jay-Z project. I know he hasn't
Yeah.
said nothing, but to be optimistic, we saying Frank,
Yeah,
we say Jay-Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come
Definitely.
on, man. We should just all get together as a vinyl community and just yeah.
Yeah,
Is
for
it
sure.
Freddie or Gunna? You guys want to touch
Oh
on
yeah,
that?
that's so funny. Oh my, like that duo is just hilarious. Like I'm not gonna hate on any of them because I listen to both and I have both records of them, but like it's just oh man. Like Gunna's like roast was so weak. I listened to DS4. I was
Oh,
like,
it was
he's
sad.
like, I'm gonna end this man's whole career, and it was like one bar, and it wasn't even a bar. It was just like, nah.
Well, in a
Yeah.
way, he didn't say he was going to end his career, but he said, I think what he was saying is going to shed a lot of light because most people who listen to Gunna, the mainstream, don't know about Freddie Gibbs. So when he said Freddie's name, there's going to be people, like, obviously, we knew exactly what he was talking about. Everybody else is going to look up, Freddie, and then he did the telling fibs around with Gibbs, obviously, so people can know it's actually Freddie Gibbs about that, which it was a weak verse, but do we really expect Gunna to drop a diss track on Freddie Gibbs? Like, come on. I don't know. It's a touchy subject. I'm not going to sit here and say he was snitching, but he was on TV giving us information.
But do you guys
Yeah.
follow Freddie Gibbs on Instagram? Like, oh my goodness!
I tried to, but he keeps getting fucking banned, man. Like I keep trying to keep up with it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Like it's so
Yeah.
insane. The stuff that he puts, like, actually, I couldn't sleep from some of his stories that he posted on there. There's some weird stuff on there.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
been like that. His Twitter's crazy too.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
yeah,
Alright,
it's funny.
sick.
Cool. All right, so I think we'll get into your third pick
All right,
for our guest.
I'm gonna put on some gloves. No, I don't have any gloves here, but I should put on some gloves when I handle this record. And this actually has been my, well, I think greatest cop ever and best cop of last year.
Damn.
Yep. So that's Blonde. It's an official pressing. Actually, I have Endless. So big shout out to Endless as well. I had to pick one, of course. This actually was a gift from my girlfriend as well. So big shout out to her. It was like, who gives Endless, right, for Christmas?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But if I had to pick one of these two, of course, it's Blonde, especially with. Well, it's just my favorite album of all time. Actually hunted it down last year for, you're not gonna believe it when I say it, but I paid I think not more than $200 for this, which is insane. It's a little bit damaged, as you can see on the top, which is a bummer. This guy actually, so we have like it's called Marktplaats. It's like a local marketplace, and it just popped up once, and the guy didn't. He was like, "Yeah, I bought this in 2000 and well when it came out 2016, like, and I just put it in my shelf, so it's also like super like discolored and everything. And I didn't know what he had, and then he put it on Instagram like, yeah, I'm selling some records, 30 euros, come pick it up. And then one of his followers said, you may have to check like what this thing is worth. And then, well, he asked 200 for it. I was like, sure. So it's actually from Vinyl Boys City, so it's from Eindhoven. So big shout out that I got it and he didn't. No, I'm joking. But yeah, favorite album of all time.
Yeah, I remember when you got that. Didn't it have like a little scratch on it too? On one of the...
Yeah, it has like it's super beat up. Yeah, and on the top as well. So I'm still looking to upgrade, but like upgrading this record is like, damn.
I don't know. Yeah.
But one day, right? But it plays great. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe he'll repress it in the original color, not the black and white for Black Friday. And then you can have like the Black Friday and the original.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, but with all the things that he has going on, right, with Ryan dying and kind of everything in this kind of, well, in his life and his focus on Homer and everything, like I don't think he has his attention on music anymore. Well, of course, if anyone like knows anything about it, please let me know. But I don't know. I'm not too kind of. I don't think he'll ever repress some of the stuff. If so, amazing. Like that will be good for everyone, I think. But yeah. So I don't know. He's such a hard artist to be a fan of. I don't know. I'm curious about your guys' opinion. Like, it's so hard to be a fan of Frank Ocean with like the delays on his other merch and kind of him not sharing anything, and yeah, it's not fun, but yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's one of those things but it really balances out because of what he's provided
for sure
for music. So you gotta take everything else, take the good with the bad, but the bad doesn't seem so bad when you get Blonde and Channel Orange and Endless.
Yeah, for sure.
His entire discography. So
yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Definitely. What were your guys' favorite tracks off of Blonde?
I think we all know I don't dislike Frank, but I'm not a fan of Frank. So I've listened to Blonde, but I couldn't tell you a song. Maybe like Nike, White Ferrari. Just I'm not saying I know those songs. I just know those are songs on there in a way. But I'm happy you guys got it. I'm happy you got Blonde.
No, all good. All good.
Frank ain't been for me. I like Thinking About You, but I think that's really about it for me and Frank.
Okay.
Not that I dislike him. He's just never grown on me in a way, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Favorite song of this project? That's a difficult question. I think it has to be Self-Control, or I think Godspeed, one of those two. But it's just same here. Like, this is just a body of work. I can't just I'm not. I didn't think it's like okay to just put on like a Frank Ocean song from Blonde. Like, who does that, right? You just let me just listen to, like, it's you
gotta run it through.
You gotta run it through. It's a mood, I'd say. But if I have to put on one song, I think Self-Control. On YouTube, there's actually a live recording from that song as well, from one of his concerts that he did, and it's amazing too. I'd really recommend everyone check that out as well. It's really beautiful.
Definitely.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Self-Control would be my favorite as well.
Nice.
Cool. So we'll get into some like closing questions here that we typically ask. Well, first and foremost, I actually want to talk about probably the biggest name in music. Just dropped an album on Friday, The Weeknd. What were you guys like first impressions or reactions to that? If you checked it out, if you didn't, that's all good as well.
I guess I'll go real quick. I checked it out. I need to listen to it some more. It was
Mm-hmm.
good. It wasn't past his last album, After
Mm-hmm.
Hours,
Mm-hmm.
for me, but Weeknd's one of those artists I have to listen to it a couple times so I can get a real, perspective for it. I haven't done that enough yet to give
Exactly.
a real representation of what I think of it. So that's what I'll say about it. It wasn't bad.
Cool.
It was good, but it's not better than his last, which you usually compare, artist to his last piece of
Yeah,
work. At least off of the couple listen tos that I have.
definitely.
Sick. Well, for me, keep going back to the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate if an album is like just you sit down and you take the whole ride, right? And I think
Mm-hmm.
with Donovan, I think he did such a great job and kind of a unique thing as well with kind of the whole radio station vibe, right? So with the intro
Yeah.
and then it just where you're listening to Donovan, and I that's just really my type of listening to music. So I really liked it. Honestly, I'm not the biggest Weekend fan, um,
Mm-hmm.
which is maybe a little bit weird because well, it's kind of it would really fit the music that I'm listening to, but I just never really never yeah, I really never got into it. But this album is
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really good to me. I really like it. I also like the kind of whole thing that kind of the don't overthink shit, right? I think he
Mm-hmm.
posted a tweet or something or like an Instagram post like, hey, I'm done with kind of overcomplicating stuff. I'm just gonna put it out, something like that. And I can really appreciate that. I think that's kind of that's how music started, right? You just start playing and
Yeah.
yeah, I really appreciate the concept of the album. I don't think it's like kind of maybe vocally is best or kind of sonically I'd say is best word, but kind of the concept behind it
Mm-hmm.
is really cool. So yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, personally, I mean, I'm not the biggest Weekend fan. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I do think, I mean, it was solid on my first listen. I listened to it a few times as well. Out of Time was like definitely the standout. I think we have touched on that as well. The one thing I'm going to say about that, and I'm probably going to get slandered for this, imagine if it was like Bruno Mars or like Brent Faiyaz singing Out of Time instead of The Weeknd, bro. I'm telling you, that would be perfect for me personally. That's no hate to any Weekend stands. I know a lot of come from my head in the comments,
No, for sure.
but yeah,
Share what you
that's
want,
just
what
how I
you
feel.
like, man. Don't
Yeah, 100%.
if that's what you like. Yeah, for sure. What do you think about
Yeah,
Silk Sonic then?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I think the hype was so high
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
that it just never hit it. I mean, it's still good. I listen to it
Mm-hmm.
almost weekly still. The only other thing, at least um, for me, is like I would have loved it if it dropped in like May or June, and
Mm-hmm.
we could listen to that like through the summer, like the warm months, at least
100%.
here. And like I don't want that shit in like the cold of December. Um,
Yeah.
but that's just me. That's just me.
No, 100%. I think that I also have some albums that I just never listen to in the summer. Like
Mm.
that's one of my girls. I'd say it's Calvin Harris, kind of a what is it, funky wave something. That one. I keep forgetting the name, but that's like an album I would never listen to in the winter or that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. And like I never touch my kind of my indie that's over there, but my indie rock kind of
Yeah,
low stuff in the
exactly.
summer. I just only grab like Bon Iver. I don't know if you guys know who that is
Yeah,
or they are.
yeah, Bonnie Raitt. Yeah,
I would never listen to. That's actually one here. I would never listen to that kind of music in the summer, but in the winter it's like always on. So I feel that. Yeah,
hmm,
for sure.
definitely. Cool. And then last question here, we usually ask. Um, so we talk a lot about like collab albums that are it's coming more and more popular, especially in the underground. So I guess just in general, what is a collab album you would like to see? And this could mean two artists, a producer, and an artist.
You go first. I have to think about this. This is difficult. It's a difficult question.
Yeah, definitely. So I think for me, the producer is definitely going to be Alchemist, and I'd love to see him work like solely with West Side Gun. Like just one on one because like the tracks that I really enjoyed from excuse me from Pray for Paris, like $500 ounces, um, Claiborne Kick that features Bodie James. Like those are both Alchemist produced tracks, and
Uh-huh.
those are some of the highlights for me. I just think Alchemist is like you said, pretty much untouchable right now,
Mhm.
unbeatable. So everything he throws up is great.
Definitely.
Yep.
I'll say for me, I know this one is not possible. Jay Dilla and Bodie James is what I would say.
Mm.
Yo, that's crazy. That was crazy.
That's crazy.
I'd even take,
Imagine.
sadly, like Donuts J Dilla on his deathbed in a way, and Boldy James.
Mm.
He was in his bag, I would say, in Donuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was working every day in the hospital. Like, you know what I mean? Getting up,
Mm.
like he was in his bag. I'll take that.
Yeah.
J Dilla, and right now Boldy. I think Boldy's killing on the ground right now. So that's what I would say.
Definitely.
Okay, so this might be kind of an unexpected one, but and I know this is never going to be possible, but so there's one single actually that Alchemist produced, and it has Mac Miller on there and Migos, and I think that's such a fire single, and I maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but if it would work, I think a Mac Miller Alchemist album would have been crazy. I'm not sure in what kind of era of Mac Miller we're talking about. Maybe a little bit good kind of vibes, but
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's interesting though.
that could be so cool. Like I think that will be my number one, and I think Frank Ocean collaborating with more Frank Ocean would be my my absolute favorite, of course. No, something like that. But like Alchemist on, I don't know, anyone that just has something to say. I would say it sounds maybe a little bit out there, but I think just like the way he has both, of course, start with Currency with Covered Coupe and kind of the way that he really locks in with the artist and they just make something that they both couldn't make on their own. I think Haram is kind of a perfect example of that. So a couple of my friends are really into Armored Hammer, of course, Billy Woods and Lucid. I could never really I appreciate what they have to say, but I could never really get on the kind of the production style that they had till they made Haram, and it was kind of Alchemist really, and it's something they both couldn't have done separately, but they just they made something unique together. So I think anyone that has something to say collaborating with Alchemist is it's gonna be not everything, but it would be amazing. I think for sure.
For sure. All right, cool. And actually, there's one more question here I'm going to add in because it's a good question. Which record of yours holds the most sentimental value? That's from the No Pass Look.
I think Endless for sure. I think that's to me. Blonde is of course I pick Blonde over Endless because kind of the general kind of appreciation of Blonde, I would say. But to me, I think Endless and the record as well, like getting this as a gift is just insane. I think that has the most sentimental value to me because it's I don't know. There's a lot of things I would get rid of before getting rid of that album. It just means so much to me. The album itself as well is I can just pinpoint right into the time of my life when I was listening to that the most. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to have, right? I have some albums that really have that, and I think that's kind of counting that up, getting this as a gift, and of course the kind of the hunt this took. I was actually looking for this for like 2.5, 3 years, kind of I think 2.5 years almost. To just kind of get a copy, but I could never kind of pull the trigger. And that feeling that when I got that record, it's just combine that together, and it's just that's why you collect, right? That's the way you do it. That's why we all do it.
100%. That's awesome.
Yeah,
definitely.
Sure.
All right. And for you, Quan, most sentimental value?
I have to say "Ready to Die" by Biggie. It's an album I grew up on. It's one of the first albums I ever knew front to back. The first album, just hip hop album growing up, just listening to as a kid. That's the first memory of hip hop and music probably in general. If it's not Thriller, I'd say Ready to Die, especially for hip hop by Biggie. Just holds a lot of value. As a kid, probably 10 years old, shouldn't be able to know every single word off the whole album. Just singing it in the car. But that's what I would say, Ready to Die.
Definitely. That's awesome. Yeah, and for me, I think I have touched on this before, but like back when I first got in the game, it was like early 2020. So by the time quarantine came around, nobody had anything to do but like look at records and like they're just sitting around on the computer. So when DeRap Winkle repressed "Let the Sun Talk" by Mavi, everyone who wanted a copy was like trying for that copy, and my amateur ass went in there and got a copy somehow. It sold out in maybe like 10, 15 seconds, but I was fortunate enough to go in there and secure that record, and it's still one of my favorites to this day. So
that's a good project.
One of my it was a big W for me, especially at like that very amateur stage. So
that's such a cool like that feeling, right? When you just start collecting, or like the first year, I would say that you can just go to your, like right now in the stage of my collection, you probably guys have the same. Like you go into a record store and you're like, okay, I'm gonna check the hip hop section, but probably like nothing is gonna kind of wow me anymore, right? It's like
Hmm.
there's like most things you
Yeah.
kind of have, right? And at that stage, like
Mm.
at the start of collecting, like uh, you just go into a record store, you can there's like stuff that really gives you that feeling, like that's the best, like. But
Hmm.
yeah, that fades sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Definitely
have now
time.
with like the rock and like jazz section as well. Like I can still get into a record store and find stuff that literally blows my mind. So yeah,
Hmm.
just have to get into different genres. Okay, I have one question for you guys, if that's okay. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Like, what is kind of your like? What is kind of so you have most sentimental, but like your coolest pressing, like the pressing of a record you have, and you're like, this is so sick. Like, is there a record like the packaging or kind of maybe
Mm.
kind of color pressing or whatever?
That's a good
Um,
question.
I think I feel like I have director's cut and the Mac Miller Kids by Urban Outfitters. They're
Oh, that's
like the
cool.
Elite
Mm.
Thermal. They both look the same, but I feel like I have another one that I could say. I just can't think of it right now.
No, I
I'm
think
a sucker for Split. I don't know if it's just because Forest Hills Drive live or what, but I like
another
Split.
flex,
Yeah.
another flex.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, Crit always does a really good job on his records too.
Yeah,
Um,
that's sick.
I just can't think of what it is. Probably a highlight on one of my pages. My little
Hmm.
stories. I
Yeah,
use a lot of the ones I like. I have a Outcast single that's like a pink type splatter looking. It's really cool.
that's
But
sick.
I'll
Hmm.
say I'll say one of those. Currency's director cut.
Nice. What about you?
So for me, it would probably be. It's very hard, but like one that I like that I would just say that I like a lot is the Charlie Brown Christmas. Um,
That's sick. Yeah.
what's it called? Yeah, the soundtrack, because like there's like two sleeves, and the outer sleeve of the pressing I have is like a holographic cover,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
is pretty cool. And then the record itself is a uh, green and red split.
Mm,
So definitely a big fan of that one
sick. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna if I
for
so
sure.
there's one record. This is gonna sound crazy, but I almost never listen to it. But it was such a cool concept. So I don't know if you
Mm,
guys listen to Brockhampton
damn.
a lot, but
Yeah.
so I got this with a friend of mine, and it's so cool that what they did with this is that if you ordered this, like it was available for like 24 hours or something, and what they did is like you can put in your name, and they gave like a booklet, and everybody that ordered it got their name
Damn.
Oh, that's
What
crazy.
the?
in the record. So my name is in here as well, and a friend I ordered with as well. So like the pressing itself is cool. It's on red vinyl, nothing too like crazy on that, but like I think
Mm,
this is so cool, kind of connecting really like something
that is
personal,
so cool.
kind of to to kind of a record that you buy. I think that's such a cool thing to do, and I think more artists should do that stuff. So that's kind of maybe a cool stuff cool thing that.
That is so cool. That also reaffirms I will probably never buy that record now because I would be heartbroken that my name is just not in there.
And
Crazy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's very cool.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. It's really cool. So
Yeah.
and I think more artists should do that. But colored wise, I think the navy blue one, like that
Mm.
haze variant,
Oh
like
yeah,
I'm a sucker for like that cool colored records,
hmm
and I think that's so beautiful, like insane. But yeah, made a mess out of my room,
definitely.
guys. It's like filled records everywhere.
That's a
yeah,
good
but
mess though.
Yeah, it's a good
one
mess.
one that did come to my mind real quick. It was Razor Edge by Rome
Mm.
Streets and Future Wave. The
Yeah.
press one I got, it looks really cool. Hopefully I can enjoy the album better now. They scammed us. They scammed us. They gave us really good presents, and they're like, you got to buy it before the album drops. No
Yeah,
refunds.
yeah.
But I did spin it the other day. Not like sitting down looking at it, but doing stuff around the house, and it did
Mm.
sound better. But
That's funny.
you know how it is.
So, what is your
Uh,
guys' favorite label? Sorry if I asked too many questions.
no, no, you're good.
What's your favorite
Uh,
label? Kind of that represses or presses kind of records, like Rep Winkle or Dope or
Mm.
whatever.
I think Stone Throw Records sound really good.
Yeah, for sure. There's like cool, like
Um,
kind of quirky, like weird stuff as well. Like like the knowledge Anderson Paak one, right? The little 7-inch.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Mm-hmm. And the Quasimodo ones and stuff, and they do picture discs too.
Yeah.
But I think because they focus on them, kind of mostly almost everything they make is pressed on a record, so they make good quality. At least in my opinion, from
Yeah.
all the stuff I have from Matt Villainy. So yes, whatever.
Sick. Yeah, I like the meat tapes as well, especially like the first one. Like that's so cool to get that pressed on vinyl. Like it's such a niche thing, and I couldn't like name another label that could kind of be okay with
Yeah.
that being released by an artist. I think that's really cool. Yeah. So shout out to Stone Store. Yeah, for sure. What about you?
Definitely. For me, I mean, Dope and the Rap Winkler are cool, but I think somebody that really stands out is Copenhagen Crates. If you guys are familiar with
For
them,
sure. Yeah.
like I've ordered quite a few from them. Now that I look at it, and all the stuff is like super quality.
Yeah. This one. I don't know if you have this one. Oviedo by Chris
Oh
Gibbs.
no way, Chris Skills.
Yeah.
He's from my state. That's crazy. Chris Skills is from my state. Like that's
No
crazy.
way. He's such a
Big
cool
fan.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna quick sidebar the story now. So like that sold out. And I actually DM'd him direct, and I asked him, I was like, "Do you know where I can find this at?" And he answered me, and he was like, "Nah, but I can like bring you one of my personal ones."
What?
So
That's nuts.
that happened, yeah, because he was like not far away. So
Oh,
yeah, it
that's
was pretty
crazy.
cool. It was a cool
That's a
experience.
fun tape. They actually dropped another one, I think. Like I didn't listen to
Yep.
it. They're not. That's such a cool project. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah, definitely. Cool. All right, so I think that'll just about do it for this episode. Big shout out to you, our guest, for coming on here and creating this conversation. It was a great time, great episode for sure. Shout out to everyone in the chat. The engagement was like very high. Makes this so much more fun and
For sure.
way better, I guess. And then also shout out to everyone else that's watching after the fact on IGTV. And as always, just DM either me or my co-host, and we'll get you on here and get your own episode.
Big shout out to you guys as well, by the way. Like for doing this. This is so fun. Like it's kind of the nerdy
Yeah.
thing, right? That everybody does, but you never get to talk about it.
Yeah,
You're on here. You can just go out. So yeah, shout out to you guys for doing this. This is really yeah, it's so cool.
Thank
Definitely.
you. We're glad you came on.
For sure.
100%. Alrighty, take care, guys.
Take care.